Bernie Sanders nails it here. Chris Hayes implied that the reason why we have all these strikes and the reason why we are able to have all these strikes is because we have a tight labor market. Granted, that is a part of the reasons why we can do that, right? But Bernie Sanders went one step further. He pointed out that COVID, with us going down with COVID, something new hit the American worker. And I remember we all spoke about this in the past, about that American worker who saw a new value in life. Check this out, then we'll take it on the other side.
We have seen all of this union activity at Starbucks, at Amazon, the Teamsters, and UPS. What you said, workers are waking up, but it strikes me that part of the issue here is that you've got tight labor markets, and employees have more choice now than they did during that long period after the Great Recession, where you had a lot of slack in the labor market, 6, 7, 8% unemployment. People were worried they were replaceable. It seems to me this environment has given workers more say and more power in their negotiations with ownership.
I think there is truth to that, Chris, but I think it really goes deeper. I think COVID, the pandemic, was a real emotional wake-up for the American people. The rich people, the CEOs, could stay at home and work in their fancy offices or in their homes behind their computers. Working people at the UAW, bus drivers, people working in warehouses, nurses, doctors, they had to go out to work. And tens of thousands of them died. And meanwhile, during that whole pandemic, we saw an explosion of wealth increases for the people on top. So yeah, the tight labor market is a factor, Chris. But I really think that people are becoming sick and tired of the massive levels of income and wealth inequality that they're seeing today. No one thinks that 3 people on top should own more wealth than the bottom half of American society, that CEOs are making 400 times more than their workers. That's not what this country is supposed to be about. That's what the UAW is telling the American people, and I think there's massive support for what they're trying to do.
So yes, the worker said, you know what? I realize the power that I really have. While the executive stayed home behind a laptop, we went out there and worked. The doctors, the nurses, the grocer, all these people went out to work. They had to work. While the people who got the spoils, the people who profited the most from the COVID vaccines, the people who profited the most from all of those people who labored, the people who profited the most from getting the stimuli and profiting from it, wasn't the average American worker. Yeah, they got the pittance, but I recall something that my good friend, my fellow Berniac, the fellow Berniac that we just spoke to a few days ago. What did he say? While the Republicans have been given tax cuts, great for those businesses, the businesses also cleaned up under Democrats, because the subsidies, those who could really take advantage of the subsidies were again the business. So they get the tax cuts and they get the subsidies. Yes, Americans did well. But what's happening right now? The subsidies are frailing, and now people are getting kicked off of Medicaid. People are now losing their support for children support for their children to get better food. It's gone haywire. People are starting to notice. People are starting to assert their word. So folks, please, let's support all of those people who are talking about striking. Let's support all those people who are saying we'll have it no more. We are the workers. We are stakeholders. To put it bluntly, we are the major stakeholder in the American economy. We spend a lot of time deconstructing the news, trying to parse it into a form that everybody can understand. We try to find those little nitpicks where
it flies above the fray, etc. If you really like these videos that we do, I want to ask a big favor. Please go ahead, number one, subscribe to our channel, and number two, please join if you can. Thank you so kindly for watching. Keep watching. Please remember to share. We must populate the entire internet with our progressive message, a message that we know is what most Americans say that they want. So help us, please join.